Welcome to Celestial Zodiac. Today we're exploring Mercury retrograde through the lens of astrological house placement and what it reveals about where your mind is being restructured. Mercury retrograde is often blamed for confusion and miscommunication, but beneath the surface it represents something far more intentional. It is a cycle of mental refinement, a period when perception shifts, narratives are questioned, and clarity comes not from pushing forward, but from looking inward. Mercury governs communication, perception, contracts, technology, and the way we process information. It rules thought patterns, decision-making, and the internal dialogue that shapes how we interpret reality. When Mercury turns retrograde, that forward motion slows. Conversations resurface. Decisions require review. Miscommunications reveal patterns that were already there. Retrograde is not chaos. It is recalibration. If zodiac signs describe how Mercury thinks, houses reveal where that thinking process gets rewritten. The house placement shows which life department is under review. This applies whether Mercury is retrograde in your natal chart or currently transiting through a house. In both cases, that house highlights where perception shifts, communication patterns are revisited, and clarity is rebuilt through reflection rather than momentum. We'll start with the first house, the house of identity and self-expression. It governs how you present yourself, your self-image, and the way others perceive you. It represents the lens through which you experience life and the impression you project outward. When Mercury moves retrograde in the first house, self-expression turns inward. You may rethink how you communicate, how you come across, and whether your current identity reflects who you are becoming. Old conversations about who you are can resurface, prompting you to reconsider how you introduce yourself or assert your ideas. Psychologically, this placement invites a revision of your self-concept. You may question whether you're speaking from confidence or conditioning, authenticity or performance. Mercury retrograde here brings awareness to internal narratives about identity and visibility, helping you refine how you express your thoughts. In real life, this could show up as revising a personal brand, updating a bio or resume, or clarifying misunderstandings. You may feel quieter than usual, but this isn't a loss of identity. It's refinement. The first house under Mercury retrograde is about clarifying who you are. Next is the second house, the house of value, security, and material stability. It governs finances, personal resources, possessions, and self-worth, what you rely on for stability and what you believe you deserve. When Mercury moves retrograde in the second house, financial decisions and resource-related conversations may require review. Contracts involving income, purchases, or investments could be delayed or reconsidered. You may rethink spending habits or question whether your current financial structure truly supports you. Psychologically, this placement recalibrates your sense of value. Mercury retrograde here highlights internal narratives about worth. Not just what you own, but what you believe you're worth. You may recognize outdated standards or realize you've undervalued yourself. The focus shifts from numbers to mindset. In real life, this could show up as revising a budget, renegotiating compensation, reconsidering a major purchase, or reassessing how you monetize your skills. Financial hesitation during this time signals refinement, not instability. The second house under Mercury retrograde helps align your resources with your true sense of value. Next is the third house, the house of communication, learning, and everyday exchanges. It governs conversations, siblings, short-distance travel, and how you gather and share information. This is your immediate environment and the mental habits that shape daily perception. When Mercury moves retrograde in the third house, communication patterns come under review. Misunderstandings may surface, conversations may need clarification, and plans involving travel, scheduling, or paperwork could require double-checking. Because Mercury naturally rules this house, its retrograde here can feel amplified. Psychologically, this placement invites you to examine how you think. You may notice repetitive mental loops or assumptions you've been operating from unconsciously. It's a time to refine both how you speak and how you listen. In real life, this could look like revising a writing project, reconnecting with a sibling, correcting documentation, or clarifying a misunderstanding. Mental busyness during this period signals refinement, not confusion. The third house under Mercury retrograde is about precision. Next is the fourth house. The fourth house governs home, family, roots, and the emotional foundation that supports your private life. When Mercury moves retrograde in the fourth house, family conversations, living arrangements, or past experiences may resurface for review. You may revisit unresolved discussions, rethink a housing decision, or reconsider what home truly means. Domestic paperwork or relocation plans could require reassessment. Psychologically, this placement highlights inherited messaging. You may reflect on how your upbringing shaped your emotional responses and sense of security. Mercury retrograde here brings awareness to mental patterns rooted in family dynamics, offering a chance to rewrite outdated internal scripts. In real life, this might look like reorganizing your living space, revisiting memories, or clarifying conversations with family members. This isn't regression, it's emotional grounding. The fourth house under Mercury retrograde strengthens your internal foundation. Next is the fifth house, the house of creativity, romance, and self-expression. It governs artistic projects, hobbies, performance, and how you allow yourself to be seen. When Mercury moves retrograde in the fifth house, creative work may need revision and romantic conversations may require clarification. Old emotional stories can resurface, prompting you to rethink how you express affection or share your talents. Psychologically, this placement invites you to examine your relationship with visibility. Are you creating authentically or seeking approval? Mercury retrograde here brings reflection around confidence and the narratives you carry about being good enough. In real life, this could show up as revising a creative project, reconnecting with a past romantic interest, or reworking how you present yourself. This isn't creative blockage, it's refinement. The fifth house under Mercury retrograde helps you express yourself with greater clarity. Next is the sixth house, the house of work, routine, and daily responsibilities. It governs your schedule, productivity, health habits, service, and the systems that keep your life functioning. When Mercury moves retrograde in the sixth house, workflows and responsibilities may require revision. Workplace communication could need clarification, schedules might shift, and overlooked details may surface for correction. You may reassess time management, employment agreements, or health-related information. Psychologically, this placement highlights your mindset around responsibility. Are your routines aligned with your well-being, or driven by stress and perfectionism? Mercury retrograde here encourages you to refine not just your schedule, but the thinking patterns behind it. In real life, this could show up as reorganizing your workspace, revisiting job conversations, adjusting daily habits, or correcting administrative errors. Temporary slowdowns in productivity signal recalibration, not failure. The sixth house under Mercury retrograde strengthens the systems that support your life. Next is the seventh house, the house of partnerships and one-to-one relationships. It governs committed relationships, contracts, collaborations, and the balance between your perspective and someone else's. When Mercury moves retrograde in the 7th house, relationship conversations may require clarification. Misunderstandings can surface and agreements, romantic or professional, may need review or renegotiation. Old partnership themes may reappear for reassessment. Psychologically, this placement invites you to examine how you communicate in close dynamics. Are you listening fully or reacting from assumption? Mercury retrograde here reveals patterns around compromise, fairness, and projection, encouraging clearer expression and interpretation. In real life, this could show up as revisiting expectations, reopening unfinished discussions, reworking a contract, or clarifying boundaries. Temporary uncertainty in partnership is not instability, it's recalibration. The 7th house under Mercury retrograde strengthens relationships through clearer dialogue. Next is the 8th house, the house of shared resources, intimacy, and transformation. It governs joint finances, debts, contracts involving other people's money, and the emotional bonds that merge lives together. It also reflects vulnerability and power dynamics. When Mercury moves retrograde in the 8th house, shared financial matters or intimate conversations may require review. Agreements involving loans, taxes, or partnerships could need clarification, and unresolved issues around trust or control may resurface. Psychologically, this placement brings hidden thought patterns to the surface. Mercury retrograde here can expose fears around loss, dependence, or power, prompting you to reconsider how much authority you give away and how deeply you trust. This is less about surface communication and more about inner awareness. In real life, this could show up as reviewing joint accounts, renegotiating shared responsibilities, or confronting a difficult conversation. Emotional intensity during this period signals integration, not instability. The 8th house under Mercury retrograde refines how you think about trust and personal power. Next is the 9th house, the house of higher learning, belief systems, and expanded perspective. It governs philosophy, spirituality, education, law, publishing, long-distance travel, and your search for meaning. When Mercury moves retrograde in the 9th house, your worldview may come under review. Educational plans, legal matters, publishing projects, or travel arrangements could require revision. Conversations around faith, ethics, or long-term vision may resurface, prompting you to reconsider beliefs you once held with certainty. Psychologically, this placement invites you to examine the narratives shaping your understanding of truth. Mercury retrograde here can expose rigid thinking or inherited philosophies, encouraging mental flexibility and a more consciously chosen perspective. In real life, this might look like revising academic plans, updating legal documents, postponing travel, reconnecting with a mentor, or engaging in deeper discussions about purpose. Temporary uncertainty isn't confusion, it's expansion through reassessment. The 9th house under Mercury retrograde refines your philosophy so it aligns more authentically with your lived experience. Next is the 10th house, the house of career, reputation, and long-term ambition. It governs your professional path, authority, leadership roles, and the public image you project. When Mercury moves retrograde in the 10th house, professional conversations may require review. Announcements could be delayed, contracts revised, or communication with supervisors and clients clarified. You may reconsider career goals or reassess your public direction before making major moves. Psychologically, this placement invites you to examine your definition of success. Are your ambitions aligned with your authentic voice, or shaped by external expectations? Mercury retrograde here can reveal doubts around authority or competence, encouraging you to refine how you communicate professionally. In real life, this might look like revising a resume, reworking a presentation, reconsidering a job offer, or clarifying leadership dynamics. Temporary slowdowns aren't regression, they're strategic recalibration. The 10th house under Mercury retrograde refines your public voice and long-term direction. Next is the 11th house, the house of friendships, community, and long-term vision. It governs social networks, group affiliations, collective goals, and the ideals that connect you to others. When Mercury moves retrograde in the 11th house, communication within friendships or group settings may require clarification. Collaborative plans could need adjustment, and old friends or past goals may resurface for review. Psychologically, this placement invites you to reconsider where you truly belong. Mercury retrograde here can reveal mismatches between your evolving ideas and the communities you're aligned with, prompting reflection on whether certain relationships and long-term aspirations still resonate. In real life, this might look like revising a group project, reconnecting with a former friend, reevaluating organizational involvement, or clarifying misunderstandings within a social circle. Temporary uncertainty isn't isolation, it's alignment. The 11th house under Mercury retrograde refines your connection to community and future vision. Finally, we come to the 12th house, the house of the subconscious, solitude, and hidden processes. It governs dreams, intuition, private reflection, and the unseen patterns operating beneath awareness. When Mercury moves retrograde in the 12th house, mental energy turns inward. You may feel less inclined to speak publicly and more drawn to introspection. Old memories, unfinished thoughts, or subconscious fears can surface for review, and communication may feel quieter or more internalized. Psychologically, this placement invites deep mental clearing. Mercury retrograde here can reveal self-sabotaging narratives or unspoken anxieties that have been operating unconsciously. Clarity comes through stillness rather than discussion. In real life, this might look like revisiting memories, reconnecting with a spiritual practice, taking time alone, or recognizing a hidden pattern shaping your decisions. Temporary withdrawal isn't confusion, it's integration. The 12th house under Mercury retrograde refines your inner dialogue so your outward expression becomes more conscious and intentional. As you reflect on where Mercury retrograde is operating in your chart, consider not just the house but the type of house it occupies. In angular houses, the 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th, the recalibration tends to feel more visible, affecting identity, home, relationships, and career. In succedent houses, the 2nd, 5th, 8th, and 11th, the focus centers on stabilization, values, creativity, shared resources, and long-term goals. In cadent houses, the 3rd, 6th, 9th, and 12th, the restructuring becomes more internal, refining thought patterns, routines, belief systems, and subconscious narratives. The house type reveals not just what is being reviewed but how the process unfolds. Mercury retrograde is not malfunction. It is mental refinement. The house placement shows where clarity is being rebuilt, where perception slows down long enough for awareness to deepen. Sometimes forward progress requires revisiting the past. Sometimes the most important conversations are the ones we have with ourselves. Thank you for watching Celestial Zodiac, where structure meets intuition and astrology becomes a tool for conscious evolution. If this breakdown resonated with you, subscribe for more in-depth planetary analysis, house placements, and structured astrology insights. Until next time, keep observing, keep reflecting, and let the cycles teach you.